I'm Chauncey Navarro. This is the Inspired Word. We're doing a verse-by-verse study through the book of the Revelation of Jesus. We're in chapter 12, verse 6 right now, which goes on to say, we were talking about the woman giving birth to the man-child, but the second sign in heaven, the red dragon who wanted to devour her man-child. In the last verse, she gave birth to the man-child who was caught up to the throne in heaven. In verse 6, it goes on to say, then the woman fled into the wilderness, where she has a place prepared by God that should feed her there 1,260 days, or 3.5 years. Now, this woman we already established is the nation Israel, who flees into the wilderness, where she has a place prepared by God that they should feed her there for 3.5 years. Now, most people following the prophecies of the Old Testament like that, about 2/3 getting cut off at the desolation of abomination and the 1/3 fleeing into the wilderness. And Jesus spoke about this during the Olivet Discourse in Matthew 24, where he says, when you see the desolation of abomination, don't stop, don't, flee immediately into the wilderness. And it says they're prepared there for 3.5 years. Now, Christian businessmen, knowing the prophecies from this, have already stashed food in the rock city of Petra there in the wilderness where they're going to flee to. And so it's very specific too that it tells you by days, that it's 1,260 days. It's 3.5 years, but by days on here, because you also have 42 months, but it doesn't go specifically to the same point as it does by days. Anyway, we're going to go into verse 7 next, and we continue on in the signs in heaven as we're going through the verse-by-verse study of the book of the Revelation of Jesus.